On this review, we'll be taking a look at the XGIMI Halo portable projector. This runs a full HD 1080p resolution with a bright 800 ANSI Lumens lamp. This also has an integrated Harman Kardon 5-watt sound system and updated Google Android TV software. It also has wireless inbuilt as well as Bluetooth, a built-in battery and a sleek design that has this aluminium premium feel to it. The design itself is very similar to a Sonos One speaker, although the Halo is a little larger at 11 centimeters tall and 15 centimeters wide, and it weighs roughly about 1.6 kilograms. It's about as large as you would want as a portable projector before it becomes a hassle to carry around. We'll be taking a look at some of the features, what's in the box, and how well it performs, as well as give pros and cons of this device. So the portable projector comes with Google Android TV 10 pre-installed, so you don't need any streaming sticks or other sources to watch your favorite streaming services, as the apps and capabilities come bundled in. There is a 59 watt hour lithium ion battery inside, so this will keep running for around 2 hours without it being plugged in. The projector comes with a sleek remote control complete with a microphone and Google Assistant support. And there's also a HDMI 2.0 port on the rear to connect games consoles or a Blu-ray player, and it even has a dedicated low latency games mode. This also has HDR10 support, smart auto focusing and screen alignment with auto keystone correction, plus DTS and Dolby audio sound. What's more, with a 2.1 throw ratio, you can expect a 60-inch picture from roughly around 2.6 millimeters away, or 120-inch picture from 3.20 inches roughly. The projector itself actually supports screen sizes up to 200 inches. I think you can also go up to 300 inches if you're using this outdoors. But in general, the higher inch screen you want to be displayed, the less ANSIs you'll get out. Picture will be less bright. As with most LED lamps, you should get around 30,000 hours with this, so this should be good for at least a decade or more. The Halo is pretty easy to set up. All you have to do is put it on a flat surface or on a table or even a tripod, and then all you have to do is turn it on. It will autofocus and try to give you the best picture it can. There is a little kickstand at the bottom, so if you do have this on the table, you can prop this slightly up. Again, with most projectors, unless they are a short throw where you can have them kind of directly close to the wall or screen, this one you will have to have it at a at least 2 meter distance from the screen, as well as try not to have it too angled to the left or the right, because the horizontal keystone only works a certain degree. That's pretty much it. That's how you set it up. Once you turn it on, you then have to log in with your Google details to be able to use the Android TV capabilities. The Google Assistant works well for simple searches and playback of content across streaming services, and the remote control and menus are easy to use. A dedicated settings button opens up more options than you'll find inside Android TV's settings menu. There's also Chromecast functionality for streaming photos and video directly from a phone, tablet or browser. The picture quality is superb for a portable projector. In fact, I don't think I've looked at a projector in this class that can beat the Halo. There's nothing like watching your favorite film or show blowing up on a big projector, giving you that mini theater home setup experience. Games also work well on the Halo. I didn't really have any issue while using this with the Xbox Series X or PlayStation. Although not perfect, I can still feel there's a slight latency compared to using a TV, but it's very minimal and you get used to it over time. You can definitely use this as a gaming projector, if you will. The audio quality is really good for something so compact. The sound from the dual 5-watt speakers has a presence and weight you won't find on most other portable projectors. And I was happy to watch my favourite films just using the speakers itself. Although if you're not happy with that, you can always connect Bluetooth to a soundbar or a home surround system. So the options are there. But as I said, I was happy to just use this as a speaker itself because there is slight punchiness to the bass, not too low, The highs are really clear as well, and this thing can go really loud to a point where most of my volume settings were at least 50 or 40% in a large to medium sized room. The Halo also has a 3.5mm jack, which you can connect directly to any other speaker. The Halo runs far quieter than a traditional home cinema projector, and even with something as small as the Nebula Apollo, this ran so much quieter than that. It's rated at less than 30 decibels, and I've never once was distracted by the sound of the motor spinning or the fans running. Even while watching films, it's super quiet. It doesn't distort the sound. For something as robust as this projector, this runs really quiet. So once you boot up your XGIMI Halo portable projector, you should have something that looks like this, but initially you do have to log in to your Google account and sign in like you would do with any Android TV device or Google Chromecast. So you have to agree to some terms and agreements to use the product, and then you should have the home screen come up like this. And this might look familiar to you if you own any of those products before. So we've got a bunch of features on the home screen. You have your latest news. You can customize this. That's YouTube recommendations and also some app recommendations. You can choose which channel you want to display news or updates for. And also there are Android updates that will come up here, and you can just update it. I think I've updated it to the latest version. Let's go ahead and just look at some of the settings here. And just to mention, this is displayed on a 80-inch screen, but you can beam this up to 30 and 300. The bigger the picture, the less lumens you're going to get. So it's going to be less brighter if this is projected on a 300-inch screen. So let's go ahead and just check out some of the settings here. So if you've got your Wi-Fi, your Google account, let's go straight into projector settings. And here we have different color profiles. So we have office. I guess if you're displaying PowerPoint presentations, then this is probably better, or just pictures. Energy saving, which reduces the ANSI. I'm not too sure to how much, but this is once the device goes into power save mode. Standard, custom, which you can change yourself. You've got 3 different custom options here. Keystone correction. So we have auto vertical keystone. So if I click yes on that, it will adjust itself. So if this is displayed in a slight angle, this will straighten it up and go back to normal. But if I do press this, my manual keystone will be deleted, so I have to enter that again. So the good thing about this is it has pretty good manual keystone correction, so you can adjust this quite a lot. This is displayed kind of directly to, slightly off actually, off center to the projector itself, or the screen I mean. So you can't have this device like at a too much of an angle, because the horizontal keystone isn't as good. If you place the projector too far left or too far right from the actual screen itself, then you're going to have a quite skewed display. But you can adjust the horizontal keystone and just like this, and line it up to your screen, so you do have some room to work with, unlike some devices where you literally have to put the projector directly in front of the screen. So that looks good to me. If you go back, you can also do screen zoom, which is actually really handy. From my experience, I've tried the Anchor nebula, or Anchor Apollo nebula, and this actually didn't have the digital zoom, which is quite good if you want to, I don't know, you don't want to put it too far away, and then you can zoom out as well to fit the screen. Right now the projector is about 2 feet away, maybe 3 feet away from the actual screen, so a good distance. So that's just the keystone options there. Focus settings, I haven't really, okay, this is just autofocus, so when I move this, and that is the autofocus at work there, so it takes about a second or two, and then the screen will adjust itself and sharpen. It works pretty well. I've never really had too much of an issue of it not focusing, maybe once or twice. Once restarted, it then fixes itself. Next is projector placement. That is if you want to install this like on a ceiling and want to mirror this, then you can. Gyro calibration, I guess that's if you have a tripod. Bluetooth visibility. Okay, so that's projector settings, device preference, just information about the device, model number, which Android version. So it's kind of up to date. Can we go to developer mode? We can. Gives me the temperature as well at 50 degrees. Date and time. Language, keyboard, so you can connect a Bluetooth keyboard to this. Gboard settings, I'm not too sure what those settings are. Manage keyboards. We can also have a virtual keyboard as well. Sound, storage. So this has a total space of 12 gigabytes, so you can install quite a lot of pictures, videos, or apps as well. I have currently a USB drive in there. Home screen, so we can change the preview, video previews or audio previews, change the backgrounds I guess. Google Assistant, there is a button, a dedicated Google Assistant button I believe. You can search stuff using voice commands. Screensaver, and okay, there's developer options. You can mess around with some of the debug modes, but we just want to leave it as is. Location, I'm not too sure why this needs a location, maybe for some of the apps actually. Usage, security, so you can sideload some apps, APKs with unknown sources. Accessibility, reset and customer care. There's a tech support for if your XGIMI, I don't know, blows up or doesn't display the image. Well, you can just write this down I guess, or find it online. If your device is in warranty of course. So that's the options for the preferences there. So here's some of my apps. I'll just quickly show you what YouTube looks like. Let's put on a trailer. Colours are quite vibrant, and this is displaying not in total darkness. I do have some lamps on the side, but it does display 1080p pretty well. Like I see no issues. I mean, this is supposedly a 4K video, but it might not be true 4K, considering YouTube are now charging you to display 4K video. But I would say I do like the colours and just the motion. The frame rate seems pretty good on the XGIMI.
Whenever there's a murder, we ask, who stands to gain from it?
Hello? Who is this?
What can you tell me about it, Anne? She's been doing a lot of extra shifts. She like to gamble.
When do I get my money? I'm broke too. Why do you think I'm doing all this?
And insurance.
Right, so let's have a look at some more of the features here. And if I go on to File Browser, I can just quickly show you, or File Manager. I have a USB stick already inserted in, and some movies and that on here. You can choose which app you want to open it with. I find VLC Player to be the most convenient one because it can use quite a lot of file formats. The default is the MX Player, but I did have problems using MKV files. So a bit of a problem with not being able to fast forward or pause movies, but VLC Player had no issues with, so it loads up pretty seamlessly, quite fast. And obviously you can have music or images on a USB stick and just play it. Let's go back. I'm going to open Google Play Store. So if I click on the Google Assistant button on the XGIMI remote, open Play Store.
Opening Google Play Store.
Just like that, quite quick, it will open the Play Store. And this is what the App Store looks like. So it probably has most things that any Android or phone would have. A couple of games here. I have installed some, but I'm not too sure if that requires you to have a controller. One thing to note, if you're buying this for Netflix, there is an issue with not being up to date, and I think you have to sideload Netflix in order to use Netflix on this. Open Netflix. So if I click on Netflix, it will give me an error. It will say this isn't the right version, or compatible. This is not compatible with your device. So I think you have to sideload Netflix, obviously turning on developer mode and then enabling unknown sources in order to get Netflix to run. I don't think there was an issue with Disney or Amazon. So just in case you're buying this and you really want to load up your Netflix, be aware that it won't work straight from the box. You have to sideload it, I believe. Let me just have a look at Amazon. Open Prime.
Opening Prime Video.
So I think Amazon Prime Video, there shouldn't be an issue. So yeah, I can just sign in and start watching. But anyway, that is just some of the App Store stuff. Let me see if this works. Crossy Roads. age is 1. So that's cool. I can use the remote as a gamepad, and obviously I can connect a Bluetooth one if I want to. There is a slight latency actually with the remote. Oh my god, okay. Let's see if beach buggy racing works. Straight away I just hit someone's cart. Not a good sign. Probably shouldn't be on the roads. Well, you suck. Try again. This actually looks pretty good on the projector, I must say. I don't understand why the whole screen tilts though when you press left and right. Oh, poor chicken. Right, having too much fun here. Let's quickly go back out. I did try and install Asphalt Racing, Asphalt 8. Not too sure if that actually installed. Oh sweet, some bonus points ready. Play the mini game and win bonus credits. Okay, I'm not too sure if this is actually going to load or not. Okay, it still needs to download the game. This song is a rip-off of something. I swear that's a copyright song, but whatever. Let's just. It's going to take a while to load, so let's exit, please. Alright, so one last thing I'm going to show you is the HDMI mode. I will show you the mirrorcast if I can get it working. But let's just go ahead and choose HDMI mode. So I'm connected to my Xbox. Now there is one thing I would note is the latency of this. So if you have this on standard mode, so let's click the shortcut settings under image mode. So I have this under standard mode, right? Now if I press left and right on the Xbox controller, there is like a millisecond delay. And you would notice this when you're playing any type of game actually, especially a competitive one. And you want to change this to game because it reduces the latency of the projector to the game or control input. But if you press this you lose the manual keystone in. So I'm going to click on this. There is no way of changing this this display basically. This is portraying like a 100-inch screen now, I think, for the game mode, which you can't change back. So if I go to keystone correction is not supported in game mode. So that is an issue. If you plan to game with this, then you're kind of stuck with a massive screen unless you put the projector closer to the wall or closer to the screen. But it looks good either way, like the colours and that. I feel like you can still tell there's like a slight latency compared to a standard TV or 4K TV. But I would say this is playable under these conditions. Like playing on the split screen is actually pretty cool. And the colours and the deep blacks and stuff, contrast, is actually really good. But you are stuck with a massive screen, which is a problem. So I'm not too sure why you can't adjust the keystone once it's in game mode. I guess it has to set itself at a standard size in order for you to have no latency. In order to get Miracast or AirDrop to work, you have to download AirScreen from the Play Store, set it up, and then I think you have to install Google Home app and then link it up, and you can share all your stuff from your phone, or even if you have a disk station like I do, which is connected to my local network, you can also stream stuff from your hard drive while using AirScreen from your Halo. After using the Halo for around 3 months now, I can safely say that there are more positives than negatives that I find with this projector. Its brightness, battery, storage, speakers, and all the connectivity options mean that at first glance it looks the part of a punchy and convenient travel projector. It's still small enough to throw into your bag, but also big enough to give some impact around the house or even in the garden. Picture quality is great and the colours are vibrant. This is definitely a true full HD 1080p DLP projector. The general navigation of the menus and the UI is quite seamless and quite snappy. There has never been a point where I've had to close down the apps because it's running too slowly, or just in general I couldn't load anything. That's never been a problem. There's only once or twice that I had to restart the projector, but that's only because the auto-focusing wasn't working properly. It may not have the highest ANSIs out there for a projector, but for a portable one I think it does the job pretty well. At this sort of price point you can probably get something that has a lot higher ANSIs, but it'll be something that you would have to leave plugged in at home. If this will be your first projector, then I would probably say this is a pretty good entry level portable projector, and this will cover your bedroom or living room or even the garden. However, if you do have a dedicated room and you want the real home experience or home theatre experience, then you would probably be better off getting a much larger or 4K laser projector for something like that, which would cost at least twice the amount of this. Some of the things that I dislike about the projector is that while using game mode for low latency inputs, you can't adjust the keystone correction, which is a bummer because you're kind of fixed at a larger screen, which may be fine for some people, but if you specifically bought a screen for this, and which I have, which is an 80-inch one, it doesn't fit that screen. So I'm kind of stuck with either leaving the screen off and just using a wall to play games, or leaving the screen on and play games while the image is overlapping. So not ideal. I wish we can change the keystone vertical and horizontal while using the game mode. And one more thing is, I think there should have been a bigger battery installed. Obviously a bigger battery would probably mean more heat, which would mean this projector will run a lot hotter. I'm finding when I'm home I just kind of leave it plugged in. Obviously you can take this out with you and get roughly around 2 hours or less, which, you know, for most films nowadays isn't ideal. You're gonna get less than the film's worth. The power brick as well, it's slightly short on one end, so I find that it drags a little. It makes my projector tilt up a bit because it's too top heavy. Another thing is the ports that are on the back. This means that you can't have this facing into a wall because there will be no way of connecting to the inputs. But I understand why they put the connections at the back, because it makes the design look more sleek rather than having some ports on the side. But it's just one little niggle that I had found a bit annoying. But the main thing is the battery and the game keystone mode. Another negative that I found is that the Halo doesn't have a lens cap at all. They could have easily just made one just fit in front of the camera and just slide it on. Especially when this is supposed to be a portable projector, you're going to accidentally get fingerprints on the lens itself. and you're gonna have to always wipe it down. I've did it before where I've put a fingerprint on the lens, even just moving it onto a tripod and leaving it there. So without that lens cap, it's kind of a bit annoying that especially if you see a bit of dust or fingerprints on it, you're gonna always have to wipe it or have a microfiber cloth on hand while you take it with you. Bit annoying, but that is just one of the issues that I found. Other than that, I didn't have any other issues with the projector itself. Like I said, for mid to entry level 1, I would say try this out, or any other XGIMI projectors out there. I would highly recommend. If you have any questions about this projector or about this review, then please comment down below. I hope this has been useful for you, and like I said, I've had more than fun times with this device, and projectors are pretty cool. I do find, especially playing games on it, is a different experience than using a normal TV. There's my review for the Halo portable projector. If you like this video, then please comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you again on another one.